Well, good afternoon, everyone. Certainly, you know the housekeeping rules, but okay, maybe it's been a couple of weeks. We'll go over it anyway. If you don't mind, please keep yourself on mute. Add your affiliation next to your name on the Zoom ID. Arnie's here. If you need record permission, ask him. He'll take care of that. Again, if you have a question, use the raised hand function here on Zoom. We'll take your questions here in just a matter of minutes. As you certainly know, the Olympic break is over. It's on to a fast and furious finish for the 2024 NTT IndyCar Series Championship beginning this weekend with the Bommarito Automotive Group 500 presented by Axalta and Valvoline, and announced earlier today by Junco's Racing the return of Conor Daly, who will drive the number 78 Chevrolet for the remainder of the season. Conor, good to see you. Thanks for doing this quick turnaround this afternoon.
Thank
And
you.
all and
Happy to be
yeah,
here.
thank you. And also joining us, the co-owner of Uncos Hollinger Racing, Ricardo Uncos. Ricardo,
Hello,
thank
Dave.
you. Hey,
Thank you, guys. Pleasure
we'll
to be here.
yeah, no, we'll start with you if that's okay. What does Connor bring to the team that makes this such a good fit?
Well, I think he's kind of back in the team, right? He's a welcome back. I know Conor. I don't remember Conor maybe back in 2003 go-kart times, and then we raced together in Indy Pro in 2010. Actually, was one of our best championships ever. I think together we have a lot of good things, and now he's kind of coming back, obviously, many years later. And I think Conor obviously has a lot of experience in IndyCar. I remember when he was fighting against Rinus VeeKay, 2X Juncos cars in the Indy 500. I think he has a lot of experience, and considering 4 oval races in the next 5 races, I think for sure it's a big plus. He also worked before with some of my technical guys and engineers in the past when he ran for Carlin. So I think the combination can be quite interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to get to see it up close and personal coming up. Practice begins Friday at the Worldwide Technology Raceway. And Connor, you know, you never know what's going to happen during the course of the season. So how much are you looking forward to getting back on the track now?
I mean, honestly, this is a huge deal for me because I appreciate the fact that Ricardo committed to like, hey, if we really want to score the points that we want to score and do as good as we can do, to get some races in a row is really helpful, and to be able to work with the team and to be able to test a couple weeks ago at St. Louis was really helpful. So obviously, I'm still extremely new to the whole hybrid side of it, and at Portland that'll definitely be more in play for sure. So that'll be a challenge. But like I think this is going to be a great situation purely because, as Ricardo mentioned, the familiar faces that are there. Even Alan McDonald, who was there when my very first IndyCar street race at Schmidt Peterson back in the day, which was a lot of fun at Detroit. So there's a lot of great people from the Carlin days when we qualified on pole together. So there's just everything about it is kind of primed for hopefully a great few weeks to cap it off for them in a really positive way.
And maybe to that point, I mean, generally speaking, you've had some good drives at Worldwide Technology Raceway. So this is a kind of a nice jumping off point, I guess, for this journey.
Yeah, I love this track. And after the test a couple weeks ago, I see no reason why we shouldn't be confident. I mean, my teammate Grosjean as well. I mean, he was awesome at the test. So I think we go into it for sure with some high expectations. And yeah, I don't know what it's a bit of a different race outlook for sure with how different the cars are this year and tires, but for some reason I feel like Gateway always puts on, or Worldwide Technology Raceway, excuse me, puts on a great event for us as usual.
All right, well, go ahead and open up for questions. Again, if you have a question, hit the virtual raised hand function, as many of you have already done. We'll begin. Nathan Brown from the Indianapolis Star. Hey, Nathan.
Hey guys, thanks for doing this afternoon. First questions for Connor. Connor, I know this will on Saturday be, I think, your sixth different IndyCar team that you've run for in your last 8 starts over these last, I don't know, 14 months or so. You've also done some racing in ARCA, racing in NASCAR trucks, racing in Xfinity. You're getting ready for the GT World Challenge. You've been in a lot of different types in teams' cars over the last year or two. What has this process been like for you? And do you feel in some way that it's just helped you become an even more adaptable driver for whatever comes your way the rest of your career?
Well, I mean, it's definitely been an interesting year. From the months of last September till the beginning of May. I did more NBA All-Star games than I did IndyCar races. So like I thought that was kind of a wild thing, and now I get to do like 6 weeks in a row of racing in essentially three different series, all the way till the end of September, with our last truck race. So. I mean, this is what I do though. I try to work hard at just providing myself opportunities. Like I want to be involved in a competitive situation, and this happened to come up. And obviously, I want to be as competitive as possible for Ricardo, for this team. There's points to score that need to be scored, and we want to be that guy. I want to be that guy, and I think that with this group, for sure, it's highly possible. So. Yeah, I mean, it's been chaotic this year, but there's been a lot of not a ton of races, but a lot of really good moments, from the 500 to the Xfinity race at Indy. And there's been a lot of times where I've actually had a big smile on my face this year, which is nice. So this kind of, I think, restores that same smile, because it's a great chance to just go racing in a field that I love to be a part of, but also, love to be competitive in. So yeah, it'll be a lot of work for sure, but that's what racing is all about, putting in the work. And so, yeah, I'm excited to do it.
Awesome. And then a couple questions for Ricardo. Ricardo, I know Conor coming onto your team also comes with losing Augustine Canapino, who I know you were super enthused to bring on to JHR ahead of the 2023 campaign. I know your team releases have touched on it a little bit, but could you just kind of maybe give us a little bit more perspective on the timing for this change? Is it really truly leader circle related? Is it wanting to get a feel for Conor, knowing that you guys wouldn't be moving forward with Augustine next year? Can you kind of just maybe give us a little bit better of a sense on why the team wanted to make this change right now?
Yeah, I think it's like you said, it's a little bit of everything. It's not just one thing alone. So we analyzed all the situation with the group, Agustin included, and we make the best decision for everyone. So it's not just one thing. I think, like you said, that was my guy, and we choose him out of open wheel. Was a big challenge, crazy move in a way. And I think when you see what he did last year was really, really good and surprised a lot of people. So in our side, knowing that the situation in our countries, in Argentina, where he came from, is tough. And we took the risk again based on his performance for this year. So, I think he did an excellent job. Consider the situation, not just on the sporting side, meaning that he never raced in an open wheel and now here is in IndyCar, but also coming from a totally different country, culture, language, and everything else that he need to adapt. I think he did an outstanding job. Yet, obviously, the results on this year were not the result that we were hoping for, but I'm always going to be thankful for him and the opportunity and the big chances that he took. And we did it together. We did things that in the history of motor racing in Argentina never happened, like 2 times, Indy 500 tries is not something that happened often. It's been in Argentina for more than 87 years. That didn't happen in a country that is a lot of passion about motor racing. It's just soccer and motor racing over there. And for our country, it was huge. But looking forward for the future as well, I think, this is about life, and this is about things move forward and learn from things. And that's why I keep saying that we try something. I'm always going to be happy about it. There is nothing more than not try things in life. So, like I said, for me, it will be always, it was an honor to have him. It is one of the best drivers in the history, and his record will stay there. And I think today he's a better driver for sure, because I think this almost 2 years in IndyCar teach him a lot of things. And now he's going back in Argentina, continue there. So obviously all the luck for Agustin going forward as well.
Sure. And then one other question for you, Ricardo. There's been a lot of speculation over the last couple weeks and months about the future of this team, about talks with the Di Francesco camp, about either looking into, people have speculated buying out your ownership, buying out Brad's ownership, becoming an additional owner or investor in this team. I know you can't tell us everything, but can you give us a sense of where this team is at right now and, the health, the future of this JHR program and as much as you can say about what the future might look like?
Yeah, well, I heard the rumor, and it is a rumor that we are not. I think IndyCar is in a good space, to be honest, generally speaking. A lot of good things are happening and will happen, I think, for the next year, 2 or 3. That's why you see a lot of intentions of new team coming in. You have Prema now coming in, and used to be more than that. I think it was like about 4 to 5 teams willing to join IndyCar, as far as I know from rumors. But I only can say that in our side, all still the same. As of now, I'm not with Brad Hollinger doing anything. And of course, we have with different options and different people that are approaching us. You mentioned Di Francesco is one of those, but we have an NDAs with all of them. And because of that, I have to, follow my rules and stuff like that. For the moment, nothing is been said to anyone. And as of now, our plans that we set from 2021, as we said before, and we are executing. So right now, I can tell you just rumors like many others, but nothing is said yet.
Sure. Awesome. Appreciate that. And best of luck to you both heading into this weekend and the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nathan. Let's go. Joey Barnes, motorsport.com. Hey, Joey.
Hey, Dave. Thanks. Conor, just want to start with you. I think we've already been talking about how many teams you've driven for over your career and things like that. But I kind of want to get a sense, like we all know in IndyCar, the different levels of equipment and what we kind of rate them. I mean, where would you kind of say, even though it's only been a test, but where would you kind of rate the Juncos Hollinger Chevrolet powered entry and what you're going to have a chance to fight with on Saturday?
Well, I think the proof is in what the team's already done this year. I think a lot of great qualifying performances, probably a lot of bad luck that they've been a victim of at times. But yeah, I mean, I think we have a great chance at competing after both seeing, like I hadn't been teammates with Roman before, and we definitely kind of at the tests push each other run by run. Like one run I'm faster, then he goes faster, then I go faster, then he goes faster. And so like it's kind of nice to be able to just go to work like that. And the reason why I'm more confident is because I've actually like worked with a lot of these guys before. So like a lot of the engineers, and especially Eves, who's the technical director, like he was the technical director at Carlin when we were flying. So like I definitely have a lot of faith in those guys. And for sure, this team I think is looked at as an underdog, but I think there's a lot of great things going on in this race shop and with this group. So it's a very exciting opportunity because I think there's a lot of great potential here for sure.
I guess just a small follow-up to that is just because it sounds like there's obviously a lot of synergy, but I mean, and without trying to throw shade at other teams and whatnot, but would you say that just given what you felt at the test and just what you're able to push forward with for the rest of this year, going Gateway, Milwaukee, et cetera, that this is probably the best opportunity that you've had, the best platform that you've had in a very long time?
I mean, I don't know about that because like the Meyer Shank opportunity last year was really cool, although very short lived. That was something that I think was also very good. I don't want to say anything like that, but without a doubt, it's the most consistent opportunity I've had. So I can finally, like, if we build on something that we find at Gateway, we can probably use it. I get to go to this, simulator, stuff like that, stuff that I have not done in years. So that's really nice. But that's how you're supposed to go about doing it. You know what I mean? Use the information day to day, develop the car, and then things that you learn one weekend, you take to the next because everyone else is doing that. And this is one of the most competitive championships in the entire world. So it's hard to be good. And you have to have all these things going your way for that to happen.
Yeah, very cool. And then Ricardo, coming to you, just one quick question. Obviously there's a wide pool of talented drivers that any owner could pick from. I mean, what made Conor the easy choice to kind of look at for these final few races?
I think it's like I said before, even if it's true that we have options, I think Conor, first of all, it was one of my guys, right? We have the history together and he's back with us now. But he did really good things when you see, right, what he was able to do when he's talking about these different teams. And I always see that he's very good. I remember when he was doing Indy Lights and he was leading the championship when he decided to go to Europe and he was beating Joseph Newgarden. I mean, it was Esteban Guerrieri there from Europe that doing a really good job as well. He's one of the good ones, like I never has a doubt on him and never. And we'll see now what we can do for these 5 races,
Awesome. Well, appreciate it, guys, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
That was a stroll down memory lane there, Conor.
Good memories.
Good memories, right? Let's go. Eric Smith from IndyCar.com, and then we'll hit up some Spanish media as well. Go ahead, Eric.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, Conor, hearing Ricardo speak like that, how does it feel to have that feeling being wanted? Like, just this seems like every year it comes in, and you'll get this analogy in sports. You always hear about players wanting to be a starter, but it's not how you start. It's the guys that are in the game at the end of the game. And it feels like every year you're getting this call and feeling wanted to put in this pressure-packed situation and keep delivering. And I'm just curious your thoughts on getting that feeling of being wanted again.
Well, I think obviously I still have to do the job every weekend. And when I show up, I put everything that I've got into this. And it's been something that obviously, if you followed my career, it's been quite a tornado to quote there's a new Twisters movie out. So that's exciting. But it's been crazy. It's been up and down. But I think, when it's been up, I'm very, very proud of it. And when it's been tough, there's always things that either I will take responsibility for, or I will understand why. So, in the end, it feels really good to hear him say that. And again, I think, I'm not at the young end of my IndyCar career. Like, I know that, but I have so much that I want to do. I have so much that, we train every day for these chances to come about. And even if it was one race, I would go about it the same way, but this is an opportunity to go and find success together. And this team is right on the verge of getting trophies and bringing home some champagne to the race shop. So, I would love to be the guy to do that. And then, sadly, I've only got, I'm excited, but my life exists for the next 6 weeks, and then who knows what happens. So that's kind of the way I've had to live, which is usually tougher for maximum performance, but I'm going to do the best I can. And that's all I can do is just put everything I've got into it and show them that I really want to bust my butt to deliver some, results for these guys.
And I was talking with Nolan Siegel about this a few months ago about how many different race cars he drove last year and how much he can learn from each different team and apply. I mean, you drove for Rhett Jones, Sam Hunt, Nice, just all recently. And what can you have learned from maybe some of those situations and those teams and take the good and apply to bring it over to Juncos and so forth?
I mean, honestly, there's not a lot that needs to be brought to this team. I mean, even in the short time that I've been there so far, I think they have impressed me beyond belief. Like, there's a lot of great things happening there. And I think when you compare to maybe other newer groups or even 2-car groups that have been around a long time, I mean, this group is certainly at the sharp end of those and, fighting with the big teams that now have, huge budgets, huge staffs. And it's very impressive. So I think that there's nothing that needs to be brought other than, I guess, what I've learned in my career so far and the experience that I can go off of, just to work with the engineers and be like, hey, this is, I think, where we need to be, and we'll see what happens. And in the end, it's every day that we have to go racing, it's a full team effort. Everyone in the pits does their job. I do my job. We all do it, at the shop. Everyone has to be prepared. And, when all of that stuff goes right, you should be rewarded with good results.
Awesome. Thanks, Conor. Good luck this weekend, boys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric. Let's go Francisco of D Sports from Argentina. Go ahead, Francisco.
Thank you, guys. I have two questions for Ricardo. If you don't mind, I'll ask them in Spanish.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Dave. Ricardo, buenas tardes. Good afternoon, everybody. Ricardo, mi primera pregunta es algo que tal vez no debería ser lo más relevante en la Argentina, pero que sí tomó mucha fuerza, fue el tema de las repercusiones en cuanto a las redes sociales, ¿no? Que Agustín apenas se conoció la salida del equipo, al poquito tiempo se supo que ya había borrado a todo el mundo de las redes sociales, tanto a vos como al equipo. Querría preguntarte si eso los sorprendió, si eso causó algún tipo de impacto. Y por otro lado, ¿qué tipo de respuesta recibió el equipo de las redes sociales? Algo que siempre, lamentablemente, se convirtió casi en una especie de termómetro de la relación en los últimos tiempos. Gracias.
Bueno, ¿qué tal, Francisco? Un gusto. Sí, la verdad que nosotros se tomaron las decisiones de común acuerdo, como fue lo que manifestamos oficialmente. De mi lado está todo, como lo digo siempre, más que bien. Siempre estaré agradecido a la jugada que hizo Agustín, la que hicimos todos. Creo que todas las partes entienden lo que todos hicimos, la que nos jugamos y nuestras virtudes y defectos, y todos intentamos lo mejor. Y yo, desde mi punto de vista, estoy muy tranquilo que dejé lo mejor de mi lado, pusimos todo lo que pudimos poner, y nunca me voy a arrepentir de haber elegido a Agustín. Así que por ese lado es lo que yo veo como real. Después, el tema de las redes sociales, yo primero que no le doy mucha importancia a cómo se manejan las redes, si él nos dejó de seguir o no, bueno, serán cuestiones personales, después habrá que ver si eso perjudica o no perjudica. Yo de mi lado no voy a hacer absolutamente nada que perjudique a Agustín, porque no se lo merece nadie, ni él, ni Brad Hollinger, ni yo, pero también entiendo, en Argentina es todo muy efusivo, lo hemos visto con el Mundial, lo hemos visto con el automovilismo, con situaciones anteriores en sistemas de carreras del año pasado con Calum Aylot, lo que pasó este año con Agustín también, con hechos, y la gente es muy efusiva, muy apasionada, y claramente los fans, muchos de Agustín o del automovilismo argentino, que esperaban otro resultado, que esperaban la continuidad, así como el año pasado muchos decían que iba a ser un año y nada más, pudimos extenderlo, lamentablemente. Créanme que yo más que nadie quería que esto fuera de otra manera, pero las cosas a veces se dan en la vida, y de mi lado estoy muy tranquilo. Entiendo la gente que está con bronca o enojada si se manifiestan en las redes sociales, pero porque es la única manera que tienen de manifestarse. Así que de mi lado, todo bien. Y bueno, habrá que seguir para adelante, como siempre digo, yo nunca voy a bajar los brazos, y todo lo que hago me puede salir bien o mal, pero siempre lo hice con la mejor de las intenciones, y por eso puedo dormir tranquilo, ¿no?
Gracias, Ricardo. Lo mejor. Conor, I'm sorry I didn't ask it straight to you also, but good luck to you too. Of course, you had nothing to do in what happened previously, so best of luck to you too.
Thank you.
Gracias, Francisco.
I was hoping, Connor, you would respond in Spanish, but that's fine.
Not there yet, but Ricardo tried to teach me a lot when I was like 17. All I learned how to do is that they prepare amazing steaks. So that's what I have figured out so far. I can't wait to have more.
It's you're learning one day at a time. That's good.
Oh.
Luis Salinas, go ahead, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, Dave. Hi, everyone. Hello, Conor. Your plan on the next 6 weekends will be race by race, or you have some specific target?
When it comes to goals per race, I mean, realistically, and I've talked with Ricardo about this, but I know that, points are the most important thing. So we want to fight at the front, but I think I would have to probably reduce the risk overall, because points are most important. But I think obviously, we're a racing team, so we want to compete at the front. We want to do the best job that we can, and I don't like setting expectations because I truly don't know enough about us as a group yet until we get into a race or two, and then I'll figure it out. But yeah, I personally hold expectations very high for Gateway because I know that I have gone well there in the past and that we've got to test there. So that we have to go out early to qualify, but other than that, I think we'll be in great shape.
The advantage to qualify will be 1 by 1, true? And Milwaukee and Nashville, you ran before on these tracks, and what expectations do you have?
Nashville, I have not been on a track like Nashville, I think, ever in my life. Definitely an interesting one. Milwaukee, I drove in 2009 when I was racing against Ricardo in the Indy Pro 2000 series. And that track is very unique, and I'm honestly very curious to see what that feels like in an IndyCar. I know most everyone tested there, but that'll be an interesting one. The older surface, a bit bumpy. Tire deg is going to have to be, I think, really, really, important for the race. So we'll see. But I love the idea of Nashville. Any bigger ovals for me, I think, is that's an exciting situation for IndyCar racing. That's the IndyCar racing I grew up loving.
Excellent. All the best on these 5 races, Hand. All the best, Conor.
Thank you.
Ricardo, make the transition to Spanish. Ricardo, pues es la pregunta obligada. Si fue una cuestión económica lo que aconteció con Agustín, ¿por qué no retuvieron a Nolan Siegel si de algún modo parece que traía un buen paquete económico y pues al final Arrow McLaren lo tomó?
No, bueno, creo que en su momento hablamos también con Brad Hollinger, que en ningún momento fue una situación económica la de Nolan Siegel. Claramente fue una situación que se convirtió en una situación descontrolada, fuera de control en cuanto tiene que ver con las redes sociales, y tomamos la decisión con el grupo de proteger al piloto en ese momento porque realmente no fue bueno lo que pasó. Creo que es algo que debemos tomar conciencia de alguna forma porque todos. Creo que habría que tener algunos protocolos o trabajar en conjunto entre todos los equipos, indicar como para tratar de tener alguna póliza, algún protocolo, algún sistema cuando esto ocurra de vuelta en el futuro, porque me parece que no aporta para nada, va por fuera del deporte y puede ser situaciones al punto tal de que en ese caso tuvimos que tomar esa decisión. En ese momento fue el piloto que estuvo disponible, nosotros íbamos a dejar el auto sin correr, la intención era guardar el auto porque no tuvimos mucho tiempo de análisis, no fue algo que estaba predestinado, fue algo último momento, y el manager de Nolan Siegel estaba en la pista, se ofreció a que suba él, que estaba listo y bueno, se tomó esa decisión. Eso creo que en su momento lo aclaramos y no tiene nada que ver ese episodio con lo que pasó ahora, ¿no?
Muy cierto. Si no hubieran salido en redes sociales la fotografía después de la prueba de parte de Conor, creo que de esto estuviéramos hablando en el fin de semana del evento, del relevo al respecto. Pues todo lo mejor y pues a recolectar la mayor cantidad de puntos en estos 5 eventos que restan, Ricardo.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias. Un saludo muy grande.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay, thank you. We've got time for one more before everyone has to move on to some meetings later today. Let's go ahead. Eduardo Almos Ayala from IndyCar Al Día. Go ahead.
Thanks, Dave. Well, one question for Conor. How has it working with Roman so far?
Oh, it's been good. I mean, I've actually been speaking to Roman for since he got over here. Really, we had I think right when he got over to do IndyCar for the very first year, we had dinner pretty early on, just to kind of chat and see what's going on, see how he liked it over here. So he's always been cool to me. I know there's been a lot of different thoughts and opinions, and he's been involved in a lot of different interesting altercations in this IndyCar series. But he's always been really cool to me, and I think he's, after just being his teammate for one test, the guy is extremely talented, and he's been great to work with. So I think this team is in a great spot. So it's nice to be a part of it.
Perfect. All the best, Conor. Ricardo, se ha hablado obviamente de todo, de lo de los pilotos, los cambios, el patrocinio, pero creo que nadie te ha preguntado el ánimo del equipo, de tu grupo de mecánicos. Lo hemos hablado varias veces. cómo está el ánimo con el grupo de mecánicos, con todo tu grupo de trabajo después de todas estas semanas?
No, el ánimo está muy bueno, creo que en todo el año porque nos hemos mostrado muy rápidos. Por ahí los resultados no se dieron en muchas ocasiones, hasta como dijo Conor, por ahí por mala suerte, pero en todas las carreras estuvimos muy rápidos de verdad, con uno o los dos autos. Y mismo que los resultados no se dieron, por ejemplo, en San Pete, Barber, la carrera de Iowa, que alguien como Román Grosjean le diga a todo el grupo que los felicita y cuando él se equivoca, le dice a todo el grupo que fue él, pero que se queden tranquilos, que le dimos un auto para ganar la carrera, que él sentía que el auto fue probablemente uno de los mejores que él haya manejado. Eso es muy bueno para el grupo, porque te lo dice un tipo que viene de casi 10 años de Fórmula Uno. No hace falta que yo diga quién es Román Grosjean y lo que trae al equipo. Y eso motiva mucho. Creemos, hemos mejorado muchísimo con respecto al año pasado, las paradas en los pits. Hubo carreras que hicimos el tercer mejor tiempo y todo eso es motivación. Todo eso quiere decir que lo que estamos haciendo va funcionando, va elevando y cada carrera somos mejor que la anterior. Así que más allá de quién sea el piloto, más allá de los resultados, de la adversidad, creo que todos están muy motivados porque estamos viendo el resultado, los frutos de un gran sacrificio de todo el grupo, de la verdad que los chicos que tengo son muy buenos, muy apasionados, tanto los mecánicos, la parte administrativa, como los ingenieros del equipo. Como decía Conor, creo que para mí es un orgullo, para mí, para Brad Hollinger, cuando arrancamos en ese 2021 sin nada a como estamos hoy. Creo que esa es la motivación y creo que vamos a seguir por este mismo camino, mejorando cada carrera.
Perfecto. Gracias, Ricardo. Thank you, Dave.
Okay,
Thank you, guys.
Eduardo, you got it. Connor, Roman's post on X today was Connor's going to be an awesome teammate on those ovals. Let's go team.
I saw that.
No
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah. Hopefully I end up being of some sort of assistance at Portland too. So we'll see.
We'll go ahead and leave it there for now. Ricardo and Connor, thanks again for doing this. Safe travels, and we'll see you tomorrow on Friday.